The Clean Power Hour is brought to you by CPS America, the maker of North America's #1 three-phase string inverter, with over 6 gigawatts shipped in the U.S. The CPS America product lineup includes three-phase string inverters ranging from 25 to 275 kW. Their flagship inverter, the CPS 250-275, is designed to work with solar plants ranging from 2 megawatts to 2 gigawatts. The 250-275 pairs well with CPS America's exceptional data communication, controls, and energy storage solutions. Go to chintpowersystems.com to find out more.
What makes ACP unique is because we do intersect with so many different divisions of what a company is trying to accomplish. We are a nonprofit. This is philanthropy. This is volunteer time from someone's schedule. So it really does support those volunteerism efforts within an organization. And we work with the DEI divisions, because we are so focused on veterans and spouses.
Are you speeding the energy transition? Here at the Clean Power Hour, our hosts Tim Montague and John Weaver bring you the best in solar, batteries, and clean technologies every week. Want to go deeper into decarbonization? We do too. We're here to help you understand and command the commercial, residential, and utility solar, wind, and storage industries. So let's get to it. Together we can speed the energy transition.
Each year, there are 200,000 servicemen and women returning from the military in the United States. And guess what, folks? Your organization can benefit from this massive workforce. And it's a two-way street. They need your assistance, and we need their hearts and minds. Welcome to the Clean Power Hour. I'm Tim Montague, your host. Today, my guest is Jana Toner. She is the Senior Vice President for American Corporate Partners, an organization based in New York with offices in D.C. that is dedicated to helping our servicemen and women find a toehold in the economy, in the civilian economy. And in full disclosure, I've been a mentor to two of these folks. Shout out to Mike and Kyle. It's been a tremendous honor and pleasure working with them and helping them find their way into the clean economy. Welcome to the show, Jana.
Thank you so much, Tim. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be able to share more with your audience all about veterans and how the public can help and how we can help them find great jobs.
Yeah, I have to say it's been really eye-opening for me to get to know these people, and they're highly qualified individuals, many of them. That's certainly the case with Mike and Kyle, the guys that I'm working with. But it's kind of like it's a bit of a puzzle for them. The roles that they play in the military are very different than the role that they will end up playing probably in the clean economy or in the economy at large. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Jana. How did you come to ACP as it's known? And not to be confused with American Clean Power, American Corporate Partners. It took me a long time to make that connection. But anyway, how did you come to ACP? And tell us a little bit about the history of the organization.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, how often does that happen? Although I'm based in Washington, D.C., and so we only speak in acronyms here in D.C. So, but yes, having those, two ACPs is pretty funny. But a little bit about me and my background. My career has been mostly in public service. I've served in two presidential administrations, so really learned about how government works and how to create good policy that outlasts you and ways to really make an impact. And my previous job before joining ACP, I was in the White House. I was the chief of staff to Second Lady Karen Pence. And I launched her initiatives around military spouse employment, veteran suicide prevention, and mental health. So I really got to know this space, worked closely with DOD, with the Hill, with other nonprofit partners, with corporations who cared about military families and wanting to make an impact and helping our nation's veterans. And ACP was one of those partners. So joined ACP over 2 years ago to help them, again, just have a bigger presence and increase their impact and bring more veterans and partners and mentors into the organization. So, ACP has been around since 2008. So a long time. We have over 15 years in this space, and it's highly successful. We've served over 30,000 veterans and spouses through the program. And the model at ACP is pretty unique and specific. We partner transitioning service members, veteran post 9/11 veterans, and active duty military spouses with mentors such as yourself for a 1-year period to achieve the career goals. So we have a method to, about how to pair people, how to track that relationship, how to provide resources. And again, our goal at ACP is really to help these veterans and spouses find that career, that meaningful and sustaining career that they deserve after serving in our nation's military.
Well said. Well said. 30,000. That's an impressive number, and that statistic still is, the statistic of how many servicemen and women are returning from service each year is still mind-boggling. Here in the United States, in the Q4 of 2023, unemployment is very low. We have less than 4% unemployment, which for all intents and purposes is zero. There's always going to be a small percentage of people that are just not going to find a toehold in the economy for various and sundry reasons. But at the same time, our clean economy, my show is all about the clean economy, solar, wind, battery storage, the energy transition writ large, and is growing like gangbusters. We're going to double the industry between now and 2030. So we're going to grow from 250,000 people to 500,000 people. So there is a tremendous opportunity for anybody out there, including our returning servicemen and women, to learn about the clean economy and find a toehold in that. And thanks to, things like the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, the United States is now building a lot of factories. These are battery factories, solar panel factories, EV factories, wind turbine factories, etc. And but across the board, we need more installers, we need more electricians, we need more engineers, we need more people in finance, in marketing, in sales, et cetera, et cetera. It's entirely across the board. So there's a huge opportunity, but it is a challenge, right? Helping these servicemen and women translate their skills into ways that, just helping them translate their skills. I've learned that just the resume alone, right? You look at a service person's resume, and there are all this language and acronyms and just vocabulary that I don't know what it is, and so I think there is a challenge to help them find a path, and my approach, and I really hope that you, my listeners, will take this to heart, is that each of us are nodes in a network. And this is the best thing that we can do to help each other and help grow the economy, is to see ourselves as nodes and building more nodes in our network. Every day I see, you, Jana, are now part of my network, and I look forward to connecting the dots to other people in your network and vice versa. And I say this to my mentees, Mike and Kyle: think of yourselves as nodes and think of every contact that you make as nodes. Don't look for a job. Look to build your knowledge base and your network, and good things will come from that. And then the other metaphor that I use a lot is planting seeds. Every day I'm planting seeds. I'm building relationships. I'm growing knowledge, and I'm putting myself out there in ways that are meaningful. I'm helping the world. I am a catalyst for the clean energy transition. I help the world in so many different ways, in subtle ways. But if I'm not ambitious about that, if I sit on the couch, it's not going to happen, right? I have to put energy and passion into that process. So tell us a little bit more, though, Jana, about ACP. If you're a returning serviceman or woman and you're not involved with ACP, what should you know about ACP? And then what should your corporate partners know about working with ACP?
Yes, well, there's have so much I want to add. I first, Tim, want to go back to your point about the transition,
Yeah.
right? And unemployment rates. And I think that's what people get wrong about veterans, because they think, well, their unemployment rate is practically zero. Veterans are fine. Everybody says they want to hire a veteran. What's the problem? But as you know, because you've worked with two veterans, it is not an easy process to make that transition out of the military. So that's why what we see is 61% of veterans 3 years post transition feel that they are underemployed. Underemployed is the key. And obviously it takes some time when you come out to kind of learn a new industry and kind of build your career. But we want to help through ACP those veterans find that right fit. So at least they're starting in the right place and know what their skill sets are and how they translate into the corporate world. What we see at ACP during the transition is that it's really difficult for service members. They've never looked for a job before. The military, it's pretty standard. And now they're entering the private sector. Their network is mostly military. You apply for a job online, and anyone who knows if you're just applying for jobs online, you're probably not going to get hired that way. That's not how most people are hired. So it's a very frustrating process. And again, it's translating that skill set, and veterans just aren't great about creating that story about their experience and why, what they did, and speaking in terms of I, which is really important during the interview process. You have to talk about your personal experience and what you can bring to an organization. And again, that's where our mentors can help kind of guide our veterans and say, this isn't quite making sense, and let's work on that a little bit more. Let's translate what all that means into the private sector language. So, and I love what you kind of brought up about the network. And, again, so if you're coming out of the military, most of your network is in the military, and you have to grow that network in that field of where you're looking to go. And so the mentor is like one step in that. You're able to introduce your protege to so many different types of positions and industries through your network. And this is just one step for our veterans and spouses in that job search process. I also, and you brought this up too, is that being a mentor really adds huge value to your own career, because you're able to kind of take a step back and say, what are the challenges in my industry? What do I need? And how is this coming across, while also, building your own network. So I'm glad you made that connection, because it's something I really do talk about a lot with our mentors about how much they gain and satisfied with the program and would mentor again. So they really find that experience wanting to repeat it. So I think your final part of that question was kind of why ACP and how can you get involved with ACP. So we partner with many different corporations and companies to enable to provide these free mentorships to our service members and spouses. So we have representatives across probably every industry, including energy. We have NextEra as one of our partners. We have many companies in the defense contracting sector as well, and manufacturing. Too, and technology across the board. So always looking to expand that network and always looking to add in more mentors. So if after this conversation, you're wanting to be a mentor, you visit our website, acp-usa.org to sign up. You can also reach out to me directly. And I think we can put that in my email in the chat notes if during broadcasts if needed. But did I answer all the questions? I feel like I might have missed a few there.
Sure, no worries. I would love to hear what you have to say to returning servicemen and women, because you probably have many fingers in that pie, so to speak, but there are probably many men and women who don't know about ACP. So or maybe even a step back, like what is the basic process that the military has for preparing their servicemen and women to return to civilian society, and then how does ACP engage in that process? At what point do you engage with the veterans?
Yeah, so we typically tell people who are looking to leave, and it's a long process building up to your retirement or the end of your term in service. We typically say no more than a year and a half before your retirement date, your exit date, to join ACP, because you really need to be in that place of deciding where you want to go and where to start looking. But not everyone in our program is still serving. There are many people who have already exited the military or in the private sector and realizing, I don't think I nailed my transition. I don't think I picked the right career. And how do I make changes, and how do I change industries? And that's where the mentor can help. So ACP is kind of one piece of this transition, because there's a lot of different resources out there and programs that are very successful, but they don't last a year. And ACP's mentoring program is designed to kind of see somebody through that whole process. So you may have a 1-week intensive about how to look for a job. Your mentor kind of helps you along the way to say, okay, what did you learn from there? Let's put it into practice. And we suggest that our mentors and proteges meet once a month for up to 12 months for about an hour. So it's designed to be able to kind of be that sounding board and support network as you are going through this entire process. And then if you find a job early in the process, that's great. But we really suggest that you should continue working with your mentor, because it's a transition to go from learning any new company's culture, the way they do things, the way they speak, the way their performance plans are used, and how to navigate the promotion process. Like, it's a lot to kind of, whether you're coming from the military or just from a different organization into a new one, to learn, and your mentor can help with that. As far as kind of the process itself, I do want to make sure, you went through this, Tim. We go through a process of trying to match the expertise of the mentor with the goals of the veteran or spouse, so that there is automatically this kind of a similar interest. And you can request that you want to work with somebody of a certain level of experience or education or region where they're based in the country. We do our best to accommodate those requests, but we really do, again, try to find that fit of what you're trying to accomplish and what your mentor can offer you. So, and everyone has a choice to say, you know what, I don't think this is the right fit before we get started. Let's maybe try again. Happen often, but but that's the way it can work.
Makes sense. I had another question. You mentioned that NextEra is one of the corporate partners of ACP. They're the largest wind and solar developer in the United States. Big company. I'm the opposite end of that spectrum. I'm a solo entrepreneur. So there's if you're listening to this and going, well, I'm not a big company. What can I do? Well, if you're an individual and you have skills and background in business, you can engage with ACP and help these people. But if you're a corporation with layers of administration, and there is a certain bureaucracy in these companies, how does ACP engage with a bigger company, and then how does the company spread the word, so to speak, inside their own ranks that this is an opportunity for their staff and professionals?
Yeah. You brought up a good point. We do have many different types of partners. So we have individuals such as yourself and who are privately funded, and we have corporations. We have smaller companies who may recruit 3 or 4 mentors and do a smaller program, which is fantastic, up to large corporations who will provide upwards of 200 volunteer mentors and kind of everything in between. But what makes ACP unique is because we do intersect with so many different divisions of what a company is trying to accomplish. I mean, we are a nonprofit. This is philanthropy. This is volunteer time from someone's schedule. So it really does support those volunteerism efforts within an organization. And we work with the DEI divisions, because we are so focused on veterans and spouses. So I'll spend a lot of time with the co-leads of VRGs and speaking with those organizations and recruiting mentors from those business groups as well. And then also work closely with the talent acquisition team, because in our program at any given point, there's around 4,900, 5,000 active pairs in the process. Not everyone is looking to find a job. Sometimes people join the program, they already have a job and trying to make need a mentor with other decisions and that. But we like to be able to help those companies hiring in our network be connected with veterans who are looking for work. They know these companies who support ACP, they care about the military. They are providing, volunteers and financial support to help veterans find that right fit. This is something that's important to them in their culture, and that makes a big difference to veterans as well. And so really, it's great to be able to work with so many different divisions and help a company, support veterans and military families. Something else that you said earlier that I want to circle back to is the idea of clean energy and the energy sector, because so many of those in our program are looking for careers in the technological space, manufacturing, logistics. Really, we ask what your interests, and they vary. I think we have up to 30 to 40 different categories and everything in between. But really, what the veteran is kind of looking for is that meaningful place, something to be able to give back, to kind of replicate what they had in the military, of being part of something bigger. And so I see a really strong connection with the clean energy sector and those in our program, and think there's a lot of opportunities for those in our program looking for jobs to be connected with the sector.
That's a great point. Being part of something bigger than yourself, and we're all on this spaceship Earth. We all have so much more in common than we have differences. It makes me very sad sometimes that we're in the state of affairs that we're in the United States, being so divided sometimes culturally and socially. But we have so much more in common, really, as Americans, but as humans. And being part of the future of energy is super meaningful because, let's face it, without electricity, life is just not that much fun. Now, there are a billion people around the world who are living without electricity, and that's also something that you, as an energy professional or aspiring energy professional, can make an impact on, of course. And but right here at home, right, we have a big job to do. The energy transition is going to happen one way or the other. Okay, the writing is on the wall. We have the technology. Solar, wind, and batteries are the most affordable technologies now. It's not a question of if, it's a question of how fast. And can we do this in a way that is good for the economy and good for the future of humanity? And, so just this theme, though, of being part of something bigger, clearly our servicemen and women have participated in that, being part of the military and kind of being mission driven. And I myself am a completely mission driven entrepreneur. So I just will say to you, men and women out there, thank you for your service. And please do not be shy about reaching out to clean economy companies, because you will find that many of us are mission driven. We want a safer, healthier future for humanity, and solar, wind, batteries are just clearly so much part of that solution. By 2050, okay, the grid is going to be 90% wind and solar. So we have a 30-year run now, and many of these servicemen and women are coming out of the military in their 30s and 40s. They've got long careers ahead of them, and so the sooner we help them find a meaningful mission in civilian life, the better for everyone involved. Mm-hmm. So what else should we shine a light on about the ACP? There are challenges, of course, but there are many, many opportunities. And I would love to hear what is top of mind for you, Jana, when you think about your mission in helping men and women find a faster, better life here in the civilian economy.
I think something that I really spend a lot of time thinking about is, the importance of veterans. And I think there are many challenges and abroad right now, and as far as security goes, and countries at war. And but here in the United States, we are fairly safe. And I don't know that people spend as much time thinking and caring about veterans as they used to. We're 20 plus years past 9/11. And so what I spend a lot of time on is thinking about ways to remind people how important veterans are, why we need, we have this all volunteer force. And in order for that to work is for those who decide to serve, that there is a meaningful career, a well-paying job waiting for them at the end. That's the only way the system works. And so being able to be in this space of helping veterans and spouses find that employment opportunity, rewards them for their military career. I don't want someone to serve and then feel like they lost 5 or 10 years of their career and had to take a huge step back and then make up that time. And that serving may have been a good experience and, mature them in many different ways, but didn't help them career-wise. So how do we as a country do better to make sure that military service is recognized and accounted for when making that transition into corporate America? So always open to ideas around that. I also, on the flip side, make sure to tell our veterans and spouses as well, is that you have to make the case for people. And that's where the storytelling comes in, right? And that's where your mentor comes in, and helping to share all your many different ways you were a leader and project management and many different skills you developed in the military, and how that can benefit a company in the job. And there's not much time when you're talking to a talent acquisition or hiring manager. They don't have a lot of time to devote to each person. So you have to make that case for them. And your mentor can help with that.
Yeah, it's a two-way street. I try to get to a place very quickly with my proteges that, look, I'm a human being. I have been on my own journey, and I'm happy to share any aspect of that journey with you. And in return, I invite you to share any aspect of your journey. This is largely about your career, but we're human beings, and we have a life. We have siblings, we have parents, we have health and wellness or ill health, and it's the whole enchilada. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening to this and you're at all interested in learning more about ACP, please reach out to me. I have been serving as a mentor for the last 6 months. I know a little bit about it. I can share my experience. I can connect you to ACP, but also please reach out to Jana. Her contact info will be in the show notes. How can our listeners engage with ACP in other ways? Jana, how should they connect with ACP?
So I think first connect with me on LinkedIn, Jana Toner. Also follow American Corporate Partners LinkedIn. That's our primary delivery of messages. We also have ACP Connects, which is a LinkedIn group that's designed to be able to post jobs and connect with our community to make some of those career connections. Also, you can sign up to be a mentor. You don't have to be a veteran to be a mentor. Only a third of our mentors have served before. This is really a chance to, again, to give back and to learn about what it means to serve in the military and to have a real impact in a service member or military spouse's life and career. And you can also, you can volunteer, follow us on social media. You can get more involved in veteran causes. And I hope that ACP is the one that you choose.
Wonderful. Well, I want to thank Jana Toner, Senior Vice President with ACP, American Corporate Partners, for being with us this morning. Please check out all of our content at cleanpowerhour.com. Give us a rating and a review on Apple and Spotify. That's the best thing you can do to help others find the show. But tell a friend about the Clean Power Hour. All of our content is at cleanpowerhour.com. We have a very robust YouTube channel, which is linked at cleanpowerhour.com as well. And connect with me on LinkedIn. I love connecting with my listeners. And again, like I said, if you're at all intrigued by ACP, please reach out to me. I would love to talk with you about my experience being a mentor. With that, I will say, let's grow solar and storage. I'm Tim Montague. Thank you so much, Jana.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Hey, listeners. This is Tim. I want to give a shout out to all of you. I do this for you twice a week. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving us your time. I really appreciate you and what you're all about. You are part and parcel of the energy transition, whether you're an energy professional today or an aspiring energy professional. So thank you. I want to let you know that the Clean Power Hour has launched a listener survey, and it would mean so much to me if you would go to cleanpowerhour.com, click on the About Us link right there on the main navigation. That takes you to the About page, and you'll see a big graphic, Listener Survey. Just click on that graphic, and it takes just a couple of minutes. If you fill out the survey, I will send you a lovely baseball cap with our logo on it. The other thing I want our listeners to know is that this podcast is made possible by corporate sponsors. We have Chin Power Systems, the leading three-phase string inverter manufacturer in North America. So check out CPS America. But we are very actively looking for additional support to make this show work. And you see here our media kit with all the sponsor benefits and statistics about the show. You know, we're dropping 2 episodes a week. We have now over 320,000 downloads on YouTube, and we're getting about 45,000 downloads per month. So this is a great way to bring your brand to our listeners, and our listeners are decision makers in clean energy. This includes project executives, engineers, finance, project management, and many other professionals who are making decisions about and developing, designing, installing, and making possible clean energy projects. So check out cleanpowerhour.com, both our listener survey on the About Us and our media kit, and become a sponsor today. Thank you so much. Let's grow solar and storage. The Clean Power Hour is brought to you by CPS America, the maker of North America's #1 three-phase string inverter, with over 6 gigawatts shipped in the U.S. The CPS America product lineup includes three-phase string inverters ranging from 25 to 275 kW. Their flagship inverter, the CPS 250-275, is designed to work with solar plants ranging from 2 megawatts to 2 gigawatts. The 250-275 pairs well with CPS America's exceptional data communication, controls, and energy storage solutions. Go to chinpowersystems.com to find out more.